In this DSM-5, there's a specific criteria for depression. It's a real mental illness. Like general myths people have about depression.
Just get up.
Yeah, just get up. Just do it.
You're so lazy.
Yeah, why are you being so lazy? It's a little invalidating, isn't it?
Like, be sad.
Just don't be sad.
Like, I'm not good enough.
Yes.
This is a choice, Celina. I can just simply turn it back.
My decision to be depressed.
By saying that it's not real, by saying that it's a choice, then we take away the opportunity for people to seek real, concrete help.
Move back. Aboard.
That's taking minutes. Precious minutes,
Oh my
Celina.
gosh, okay. Welcome back to Cozy Psych. You know what time it is.
What time is it? Woman!
Tea time.
Get the tea.
It's the tea time.
Get the
The
tea.
tea is this time.
The tea. It looks very teaful today.
This is the tea today.
Hello, my tea.
What does the tea have
Do you
to
have
say
anything
for
to say?
himself?
Roar. He says, I need food. Give us some money so we get more kibbles.
Little belly.
We want kibbles.
His little belly.
So like and subscribe.
Do like and subscribe for this little baby so that we can feed him.
Kibbles.
Kibbles and
Kibbles
lots
for
of
every like and
love.
subscribe.
You're getting kibbles
No
for
likes and
every-
subscribe mean no kibbles for you. Woo! Animal abuse. We do not condone.
Not condone. We have pet babies for babies ourselves.
We
So
are.
anyway, that's
Welcome
Hero.
back to Cozy
So we're
Psych.
gonna get back to Cozy Psych. Here at Cozy Psych, we like talking about cozy psych-related things.
Pop culture, everyday topics
Culture.
that we like to talk about.
Yep. Sometimes we talk about something a little bit more serious, which is what we're talking about today, but still in a fun and like a cozy way.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, because I think we can never be too serious. Honestly, we're just being ourselves. It's like a curse.
Yep. Apparently, we're still young at heart.
Apparently,
According to
people think
everyone.
we're younger than you actually are. But anyway,
Yeah, so if you like our kind of content,
Yes.
if you want to just relax and sit back and talk about all of these psych things in
And,
a cozy way.
yeah, and listen to two graduate clinical interns, aka clowns, just
A little
kidding.
crazy.
Training in our last year of grad school, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully for me.
Yeah, so
yeah.
if you like our kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And, every like goes to one more kibble for Hero.
For Hero. So do it for Hero.
So do it for Hero. If there are no likes, so you know what's gonna happen. Woo! Okay,
Today-
so what are we talking about today, Celina?
This topic was inspired by a workshop that we're doing, and me in the center where I work in, where I do my supervised internship in. That's what we're doing now. By the way, we're doing our supervised internships in psychological centers here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And we were talking about myths people typically have about mental health, and I was thinking that we could even do
a whole
like
series.
myths about depression. Like we already started with on this channel like myths about therapy.
Yeah.
So it'd be really interesting to talk about like actual, common, conditions like depression and anxiety. So we thought like for today's video we
Apparently,
could talk about
schizophrenia is
depression.
also quite common.
in the Philippines. In the Philippines,
we can talk about it in the future.
relatively
We'll
interesting.
have a whole series on it if you
Yeah.
guys are interested.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments or leave a like
Yeah.
if you guys are interested in that
Yeah.
kind of content, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely make
a
some
few.
more. Yeah.
So for this one, we're going to talk about depression, right?
Yeah, it's like depression, really. So depression, according to the DSM-5, it's a real mental illness. There's a set of criteria in the DSM-5 or the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders that it's like essentially like the Bible for
is the Bible
psychiatrists
for
and psychologists. It tells us sort of the parameters or the criteria for certain disorders. It's for the purpose of diagnosis. In this DSM-5, there's a specific criteria for depression. So mainly, right, it's characterized by feeling unusually low mood and anhedonia, or like feeling experiencing a lack of interest in things, a lack of pleasure in things that you normally find in pleasurable, or where you get a sense of joy from.
Changes in sleep,
Yeah, for at least 2 weeks, and accompanied by symptoms like changes in sleep,
eating habits.
eating habits, fatigue, things like that. So we're not delving in necessarily to the specifics
We
of
just
that.
wanted to mention
We just
it.
wanted to kind of like introduce what depression was. It's a real illness. It's a real illness. It's just like catching the flu. For some people, you know, you can have a single episode of depression and never get it again. But people who do get depression, a depressive episode, are more likely to experience more episodes. So you just have to be careful if ever you're experiencing symptoms such as this, and you know you're starting to maybe like have thoughts about self-harm and things. That's a really red flag. Please reach out to a professional. But today we really wanted to talk about just like general myths people have about depression. So yeah, let's just like dive straight into it.
I'd say that, especially coming from our context in the Philippines, there's a lot of stigma. There's a lot
Definitely.
of thoughts that people have generally around psych in itself. So for people with depression, there's a lot of thoughts that go around lazy, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's definitely one myth that
One
people-
myth: depressed people are just lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get up.
Yeah, just get up. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just
you know?
do it. Just do it.
Easy. Do what I'm doing.
Yeah. But a lot of the times, like, again, depression is a physiological state. It's really like when people are in a depressed state caused by many factors, which we'll get into later. It really makes it impossible, almost impossible for them, especially for people who are severely depressed, to just get up and do things, especially get up and do things that they normally can do really easily. That's definitely a sign that you might be heading towards that direction. If you're finding things just like generally harder to do, especially things that you normally enjoy, like going out with friends, you know, reading a book.
As we mentioned earlier, anhedonia, that's one of the symptoms. So if you notice that, then maybe you're starting to show signs and symptoms of depression.
Yeah. So, you know, labeling them as just lazy would be really like, you know, I'm sure everyone here on this earth, you know, you've had a really bad day. There are days where you felt really, really tired, really, really sad maybe.
Things are just not going your way.
Yeah. And imagine if, you know, something like that happened and imagine yourself in that state. And imagine if someone told
Someone comes
you,
up to you and just, you're being so lazy.
yeah, why are you being so lazy?
Get up.
Just get up.
Not that hard. It's like,
It's a little invalidating, isn't it?
it's like,
And you know, if you can imagine how it was like for you at that time when you might have been really, really sad or really, really demotivated, like it felt a lot harder for you to do things that you normally like to do. So, you know, people with depression, especially people with more severe types of depression, might feel that way times 5, times 10. So
I do have clients who have expressed like these situations in their life where their loved ones, they don't really know how to validate, right? So when they hear these kinds of things, they just need to get up. It can make these people who are experiencing these symptoms feel even worse.
Yeah.
Make them feel like,
Why
can't I just do that? Why? I know it sounds so simple. You're making it sound simple, but I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And they start internalize it. They start
ruminate even more.
They start attributing their self-worth to
Yeah,
it. Just
yeah.
like, I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
right?
It can really set up a negative cycle. So, you know, let's kind of refrain from seeing it. If you see that in other people that you care about, maybe they're starting to act differently, it's a warning sign. It's a warning sign. Now, the second myth that we wanted to talk about is, and also connected to the first one, is you know, the myth that depression isn't real. It's not real. If you're just lazy, then, you know, it's not real. You just have to not be sad anymore.
Just don't be sad.
Just don't be sad.
Has anyone ever said that when you're happy, right? Just don't be happy.
Yeah.
How come we never say that? Just don't be happy. It's always don't be sad.
So the fact that depression exists in the DSM, it means that there's been literally, you know,
Millions of people
yeah,
experience that.
who have experienced it over the course of history. It's been documented. There's been so much research on it. And as we touched on a while ago, it's a physiological state. What does that mean? It's like it's caused not only by, you know,
Chemical
psychological
imbalances.
factors, but biological
Yeah.
factors. Exactly. Chemical
imbalances.
neurotransmitters especially, serotonin and dopamine.
Yeah.
They're literally brain chemicals that allow us to usually feel a sense of contentment and happiness and excitement.
Reward, pleasure.
Yeah, all of these things.
These things are impacted.
Yeah, they tend to be deficient, and among those with depression, that's why when people with the even more severe types of depression are given medication that helps increase those chemicals in the brain, they're shown to have a decrease in depressive symptoms and improve mood, improve a sense of well-being, which means that there's really something deficient in their brain chemistry. So imagine if it's so unfair to say that isn't real when there's literally
research,
biological research.
There's a lot of research throughout history.
Yeah. Plus, depression, the fact that it's a biological illness too, it's hereditable. Like you can inherit it. It's caused by certain genes too. It's thought to be caused by a certain gene called the 5-HTT transporter.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, stuff like that.
We'll just put it over here.
Trauma.
This here.
Just kidding.
So yeah.
But like
that's something that we definitely look for, especially when we're meeting clients for the first time. We have to check their case history because it's not just about their environmental factors. That's a big part, but we also have to include their genetic factors, right? Because these things, as Celina said, they can be inherited. Doesn't mean that everyone who has a history of maybe some depression, right? Maybe their family has had. That doesn't mean you will have.
Yeah, you will have it like exactly like inevitably.
As soon as you were born at this time, you will have depression. Not necessarily, because again, we have to consider
it's a nature-nurture interaction, right? Or the gene-environment interaction in the sense where you have to inherit a certain tendency towards psychological conditions, or in this case, depression. And when you experience the right stressors, a traumatic situation, an event, a very stressful event, bullying, trauma, abuse, ineffective parenting, these things
can
really
trigger.
add up. Yeah, it can trigger turn on the switch for depression. Yeah.
So that's our second.
That's our second one, and our last one is that depression is a choice.
It is a choice, Celina. I can just simply turn it back. I love turning it
when
on
it's
every now and then.
It's real. But I can just make it go away.
Turn it
it's
off.
my decision to be depressed.
I just love it when I turn it on. Ooh, that feeling of
I love feeling sad,
losing pleasure for all the things that I used to love.
It's really exciting.
Not enjoying my everyday activities, not feeling connected to people, feeling lonely.
Yes.
Ooh.
So obviously, for all of these reasons, depression is not just a choice. It's not something that you can just turn off
or pray away.
Yeah,
sometimes.
or pray away sometimes. Of course, spirituality can be a good coping mechanism for many people, alongside like lifestyle factors like being more connected with others, being more physically active, and this can help with the brain chemicals. But especially when we're in more severe types of depressions, and you've acquired negative beliefs about yourself because of maybe years of being depressed, maybe years of being treated in a certain way, having traumatic experiences, you've developed certain negative beliefs,
and patterns
where all of that has accumulated to sort of have a cycle of depression where you already feel negatively about yourself, and
it manifests in your thoughts and in
your behaviors. You can't do anything, you feel demotivated, and of course you feel worse about yourself. It's a cycle.
So these are things that we wanted to make you aware of. By saying that it's not real, by saying that it's a choice, then we take away the opportunity for people to seek real concrete help.
It's not just something, especially the deeper that your depression is, the more experiences you've had in relation to it, it's not just something you can turn off. And you really might need help, untangling all of the experiences that have led you to, that condition, to this condition. And obviously, if you're still, watching this until the end, and you're kind of wow, this ticks some boxes right now. I'm seeing myself in this situation. Please kindly take this as a sign to really reach out to professionals.
Professional help.
So yeah, that's all we
I hope you
really
learned a
wanted to
lot.
talk about today. We hope that clarifies certain things about depression.
If you're someone who's experiencing depression and you feel like maybe this is something that you need the people around you to know,
Yeah.
feel free to share.
Yeah, feel free to share this video. We feel like this was really important to
Yeah.
talk about. Yeah.
And if you're that person who has someone who's experiencing depression, then I hope this video helps you to help navigate that with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Realize that, take this as a sign to start seeking help too.
it. Okay.
If you need it. All right. So that's all we have for today. Thank you from Cozy Side.
Have a cozy day ahead.
Have a cozy day ahead. Bye. Sorry, I burped.